At 12 in the afternoon on January 24th, 2006, employees at a financial company in Orlando began to notice something unusual. One of their most reliable workers had not shown up. At first, nobody panicked. People run late. Traffic happens. Meetings get missed. But as the hours passed, concern started turning into alarm. Calls went unanswered. Messages were ignored. And the woman everyone was trying to reach seemed to have vanished completely. Her name was Jennifer Kesse, 24 years old, successful, independent, organized, the kind of person who always returned phone calls, the kind of person who always showed up, which is why her sudden disappearance immediately felt wrong. What investigators would eventually uncover would become one of the most baffling missing persons histories in American history. A mystery involving an abandoned vehicle, a surveillance camera, and a suspect whose identity may have been hidden by pure chance. Or perhaps something much darker. Jennifer Kesse appeared to have everything moving in the right direction. She had recently purchased a condominium in Orlando, Florida. She was building a successful career. Friends described her as motivated and responsible. Her family spoke about her confidence and determination. She was not someone who simply disappeared. Just days before everything changed, Jennifer had returned from a vacation with her boyfriend. Nothing appeared unusual. No signs of fear. No warnings. No indication that she believed she was in danger. Everything about her future seemed normal. But normal routines can sometimes hide extraordinary risks. And investigators would soon discover that Jennifer's daily routine may have played a critical role in what happened. The morning of January 24th began like countless others. Jennifer prepared for work. She left her condominium. And then, nothing. No verified sightings. No confirmed conversations. No evidence that she ever arrived at her office. The timeline simply stopped. When coworkers realized she was missing, concern spread quickly. Her family attempted to contact her repeatedly. No answer. Hours passed. Still nothing. Eventually, relatives traveled to her condominium. What they found immediately raised alarms. Jennifer's car was gone, but many of her personal belongings remained inside the condo. Everything suggested she had intended to return. There was no sign she had packed for a trip, no sign she planned to disappear, and no sign of a voluntary departure. Then investigators noticed something strange. The bed appeared partially made. Items seemed left behind in a hurry. It looked as though Jennifer had begun a completely ordinary day. And then something interrupted it. The search intensified. Police examined nearby roads. Witnesses were interviewed. Friends and coworkers were questioned. Investigators attempted to reconstruct Jennifer's final known movements, but every lead seemed to end at the same place. Nowhere. Days passed without answers. Then the investigation took a dramatic turn. Jennifer's vehicle was found abandoned at another apartment complex, located roughly 1 mile away from her home. The discovery created immediate hope. Perhaps the vehicle contained clues. Perhaps someone had seen who left it there. Perhaps this would finally provide investigators with a direction. Instead, it created an even bigger mystery. Witnesses could not provide a useful identification. Physical evidence was limited. And nobody seemed to know how the vehicle arrived there. Then police learned something important. A surveillance camera overlooking the area had recorded the moment someone parked the vehicle. For investigators, this seemed like a breakthrough. At last, they might finally see the person connected to Jennifer's disappearance. The footage was reviewed, and what appeared on screen stunned everyone involved. A person exited Jennifer's vehicle. The individual calmly walked away. Not running, not hiding, just walking. The camera captured multiple images, frame after frame. Yet something almost impossible had happened. Every time the person's face should have appeared clearly, it was blocked by a fence post. One frame. Blocked. Next frame. Blocked. Again. Blocked. The phenomenon continued throughout the sequence. The only person known to have handled Jennifer's vehicle had somehow avoided identification in every single image. Investigators later estimated that the chance of this occurring was remarkably small, and yet it happened. The footage quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of evidence in modern true crime history because it offered both hope and frustration at the same time. The suspect was visible, but not identifiable. The person appeared to be of average height and build. Beyond that, conclusions were limited. Police released the footage publicly. Tips flooded in. Thousands of people watched the video. Everyone searched for something investigators may have missed. A clue, a pattern, a recognizable movement, anything. But the mystery remained. And this is where the case becomes even more unsettling. Questions began emerging about Jennifer's condominium complex. At the time, construction and renovation work had been occurring nearby. Numerous workers moved through the area regularly. Some reports suggested Jennifer had previously expressed discomfort about unwanted attention from certain individuals around the property. Whether those reports were connected to her disappearance remains uncertain, but investigators examined every possibility. Known associates were scrutinized. Potential witnesses were interviewed. Possible suspects were explored. Years passed. No arrest. No definitive answers. No confirmed explanation. Meanwhile, Jennifer's family refused to stop searching. They continued pushing for new investigative efforts. They continued raising public awareness. And they continued asking the same question that had haunted them from the beginning. What happened after Jennifer left her home that morning? Was she targeted by someone familiar with her routine? Did a chance encounter escalate into something far more serious? Or was the answer hidden somewhere investigators never thought to look? Nobody could explain what happened next, because in many ways, nothing happened. The case simply stalled. One of the largest obstacles remained the absence of a clear timeline after Jennifer left her condominium. Without that timeline, investigators struggled to identify exactly where events changed. And without knowing where events changed, finding who was responsible became infinitely harder. Years turned into decades. Technology improved. Evidence was re-examined. Fresh reviews were conducted. Yet the central mystery survived. Jennifer Kesse left for work. She never arrived. Her vehicle appeared elsewhere. An unknown individual parked it, and the one surveillance recording capable of identifying that individual failed in the most frustrating way imaginable. Today, Jennifer's disappearance remains unsolved. The case continues to generate theories. Some believe the answer lies within the condominium complex. Others believe the vehicle location holds the key. And some investigators remain convinced that someone, somewhere, knows exactly what happened but has never come forward. More than anything, the case represents a devastating absence. A family still searching. Questions still unanswered. A normal morning that transformed into a mystery lasting decades. And perhaps the most haunting detail of all is this. The person connected to Jennifer's abandoned vehicle was captured on camera. They were right there, visible to everyone, yet somehow hidden from identification at the exact same time. One ordinary walk across a parking lot, a few seconds of footage, and a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. What do you think happened to Jennifer Kesse? Was the person seen on surveillance footage directly responsible for her disappearance? Or could the real answer be something investigators have overlooked all along?